You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at 5:30.
Now, this next story might be frustrating if you are an Ontario college student who went through that 5-week strike starting this fall. Teachers have been granted a 7.75% raise over the next 4 years by an arbitrator appointed to settle the dispute. That's what the colleges were offering before the walkout. And the issue of academic freedom, the arbitrator settled that too, finding language both sides are now happy with.
The final step is now complete in those messy contract negotiations that saw college faculty walking the picket lines this fall. The 5-week strike ended when the province ordered binding arbitration to resolve the contract dispute. The results of that are now public. Adrian Chung has been digging through the results for us. And Adrian, at the end of all of this, any clear winner?
Well, Dwight, if you listen to both the College Employer Council and the union, they'll both tell you that they won today. And they almost have to say that whether or not it's true, because both sides have put in so much time and money and goodwill from the public during these negotiations. But this 18-page decision from the arbitrator exactly spells out what will actually change for these colleges and teachers and what won't. Let's break it down. The 5-week-long strike kept over 500,000 Ontario college students and their educations in limbo, and the negotiations between colleges and the union turned nasty.
Let's get back to the table!
It's enough to make you forget what they were even fighting about. 2 big issues were settled in the arbitrator's decision. The first, part-time and contracted work for teachers. Educators say their work is inconsistent and unstable. More than 2/3 are working contract to contract.
There are over 70% of non-full-time faculty teaching, and that has not changed.
The council says mandatory full-time hires don't work.
You cannot have a rigid staffing complement in a system where we are essentially 90% reliant on government funding, because it can change in a heartbeat.
Nothing about full-time hiring at colleges will change with this deal. That issue remains status quo. The second big issue, academic freedom. Teachers called for more control over how they taught in classes. The council stood firm that everything has to be run by colleges.
The College Employer Council was very clear throughout bargaining that they would not include academic freedom within the collective agreement, and it's included in the collective agreement at Article 13.
We were not prepared to cede academic control to the union, right? We thought we had a deal in week 3, but clearly they were not prepared. They wanted their language and not ours.
Both sides claim a win here, but the language is changed in the collective bargaining agreement. So was any of this worth it? Are the gains big enough to keep students waiting? The College Student Alliance says not a chance.
Being 5 weeks out of class, there is no way to see that as a win for a student. It's been a very difficult time trying to play catch up and being able to complete a semester both on time and within the condensed time limits that there are.
So, Adrian, the strike is over, but is this still affecting students?
It definitely is. So for most students right now, they're all rushing to finish their final assignments due at the end of this week. Then they have their winter break. But immediately after that, they have their exams. So really that winter break no longer really exists. CBC News also learned that over 3,000 students have withdrawn from this semester. They've completely written it off. But whether or not this arbitration deal, whether both sides actually like it, and, you know, again, they'll both claim that they won today, this is the collective bargaining agreement for the next 4 years, so students can rest easy knowing that there won't be another strike soon. Dwight?
Thank you, Adrian.